Hi guys, Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sayyida Khairunisa. I love to talk about Islam, self-love and self-improvement. If you're interested in those topics, do consider subscribing to my channel and also check out my previous content, inshallah. So, in this video, I am going to talk to you guys about how to deal with negative people. The two most important categories according to me, and the major categories that I have formed, and I truly believe that if we were to just meet people and decide in our minds as to who is there as per our scale through which we measure people to basically understand whether they'd be good enough to be a part of our life or not, and then eventually leaving it all to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking Allah for hidayat. Like for example, if you're looking for a spouse, or if you're about to make a friend, or you're about to let somebody a close space into your life, always depend upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that should be the case when you meet a person. If you make these two categories and if you fixate them in your head, it'll be so easy for you to sort of navigate life and navigate your dynamics with human beings. And that is indeed, there are these two categories that also my life experiences attest to. And those are, number one, people who thrive in positivity, okay? And number two, people who thrive in negativity. If we were to sort of just break down people into these two categories based on who they are at the core and sort of not consider the layers of the human personality, there are layers to the human personality, but if we were to bifurcate humans into two categories, this would be the most fair thing to do. People who thrive in positivity, people who thrive in negativity. Now, do I mean to say that the ones who thrive in positivity are not capable of making mistakes, or are not capable of stepping on the other side of the line, which is a little bit towards negativity and sort of making mistakes and just getting into a negative zone? No, they are totally capable of it. Am I saying that the people that are negative are not capable of trying to be positive? I'm not saying that. And how you actually define now that there are people who are always this gray aspect to human personality, there's layers to human beings' personality, we're complicated, and then you'd say that how can you put the categories? It's very simple. And I feel like there are a few things that basically define a person's integrity in that sense. And that number one is, how do they deal with their emotions? So for example, if I consider myself to be a positive light in this dunya, do I not experience jealousy? Do I not experience fear? Do I not experience guilt? Do I not experience sadness? Do I not experience depression? Do I not experience anxiety? I do. Just because you're on a journey on self-improvement does not mean you don't experience low vibrational or negative emotions. But one of the most important things is, how do I choose to deal with it? If I'm just jealous of someone, maybe come across on social media, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're doing so much better than me. And in order to sort of now form a coping mechanism to deal with that jealousy I'm developing, if I write a hate comment like, oh, you're so ugly, oh, who do you think you are, oh, you're not all that, oh, you're a jerk, oh, you're a clown, or you're this, if I write a swear word, that is me dealing with my emotions the wrong way. But then when I realize, okay, I'm experiencing jealousy right now, like this is how I speak to myself. If I am finding myself to feel any sort of negativity towards anybody's profile or picture, I'm just like, are we jealous, Khairunisa? I really speak to myself like, oh, we're jealous. Deal with it. I'm supposed to chant myself all those positive affirmations that I need to listen to about myself as to how I am enough, as to whatever area that I'm comparing me with them in. First of all, am I even interested to be an expert in that area? Am I interested? Is that my passion? Is what they're doing my passion? When you're putting an allegation on somebody else, it's easy to call somebody out, but like, are you capable of calling yourself out the same way? So when I do that, I realize, okay, this is what we're experiencing, no probs. Am I wanting to compete with them in that area? Maybe not necessarily. And it is something that, maybe we're competing in, but I am me. I have my own authenticity that I bring to the table. If I feel inferior to someone, there's no reason to feel inferior. There's abundance, that exists in this universe. Allah is limitless in what he gives. So there is no reason for me as such to compare myself to anybody. So that is the kind of self-talk that I engage in so as to deal with my emotions. Likewise, if I experience fear of somebody, I could go on to projecting that fear and sort of yelling at them and trying to assert this superiority or this sense of authority or power, so that my fear is just compensated for, or so that I am able to remove that fear, because I tell myself, oh, you were able to boss over this person, so now you're not afraid of them. I don't have to do that. Or if I feel insecure of somebody, or if I feel angry, and if I go on to abusing somebody, and if I go on to hitting somebody or talking rudely with somebody, again, that's me dealing with my anger the wrong way. And so one of the signs that shows whether a person thrives in positivity or negativity is how they choose to deal with their emotions. If they decide to journal when they're feeling anger, instead of spitting out those swear words in front of the person and making sure they're ruined for the rest of their life or the day, I could choose to write down the same thing in a journal maybe and just tear it and throw away. Likewise, if I experience sadness or not feeling worth it, I just have to get into why am I feeling this way. If I feel afraid of doing something, I just have to talk to myself and be like, haven't we done this before? And that is basically called thriving in positivity, because you're taking self-accountability, and self-accountability is extremely important. Now, thriving in negativity is to exercise these emotions in a way that it harms other people. Maybe a person is not at fault. A person who's just popped up on your social media and who's just dressed really beautifully and who feel good about themselves, and you choose to drop a hate comment on their reel or on their picture, it really goes on to show that the person who does it is so insecure. It shows nothing but insecurity. According to me, a person who thrives in negativity is a person that wakes up every day or goes about their day thinking, what can I do to make somebody else's life miserable? And let me tell you what, there are a lot of people that are like, no, but like, I'm not that type, but they're constantly going about their day thinking, okay, what do I do to make this person insecure? This person comes across as really confident. What do I do to sort of make sure that they're crying for the rest of the day? Because I can't stand their confidence. I mean, they don't say all of these things because there's no self-accountability in such people. But then they're like, okay, this person looks like they're happy today. How can I ruin their day? Some people, they cannot get a hold of their emotions. They don't even know how to deal with their emotions. And sometimes it's angering because, you're like, I spend day and night to deal with my emotions. I spend day and night to decide I will not be a byproduct of my negative emotions. And then there are some people that don't do the inner work, that are traumatized. Their inner child is traumatized. And all they choose to do is choose the simplest option, which is to trauma dump on others, which is to traumatize others, which is to make fun of others, which is to project their insecurity on others, And thriving in negativity also, you guys, is very convenient. You know why? Because every one of us right now, like every one of you that are watching, including myself, we've all had somewhat negative experiences, haven't we? But what it comes down to is, how does an individual choose to deal with their negative emotions? The most positive people that you see, it is not like they don't experience negative emotions. They do. But then they decide how to deal about it. They decide, okay, if I am angered by this is something that I still need to work on because this is triggering to me. If I am provoked by this is still a trigger. I need to heal this. I need to work on this. Okay, we're one step closer to healing. Yay! Literally, that's how they think. The other day, I was at a cafe where there were a bunch of girls and they were standing in the queue and they broke the line and they went behind me. I was behind them before and then now they went behind me. So I just went into the line, and then before I was able to go and place the order, those girls are like, excuse me, that's the line. And I didn't like the tone of them talking. And then I defended myself because you have to, right? When these people forget how to respect, you sometimes have got to teach them how to respect. So I was by myself. I was out on yet another solo date, and those were a group of 3 or 4 girls, I think. And those girls said that to me. I didn't like the tone. I said, okay, which line are you talking about? Because there's literally an L-shaped line over here, one that you guys have made and the other is the actual line. And so this is the line you're talking about? And then one of the girls starts yelling at me. So then Madam breaks the line. She goes and forms her own new line. She expects people to submit to that line, and when somebody calls her out for that, she is yelling at them. one of the girls behind me, they supported me. They were like, yeah, this was the line. What have you guys done? Like, where's your line? When she yelled at me, in that very moment, it was a really crowded cafe because this cafe had some occasion going on because they had their 8th birthday of after the cafe was started, all of that. So she yelled at me saying, stop talking to me in that tone. Watch your tone. I was like, what do you mean watch your tone? Like, you're the one that started off at this pitch at the very beginning. Like, I match people's tones. I mirror people's behaviors a lot of the times. There are exceptions. I cannot stoop down to a certain levels. Very natural, unsaid. But I do, when somebody's like yelling at me to defend that inner child, I do what is required. Not necessarily go down on this thing, but like I defend myself because, and I'm not telling you don't defend yourself. I'm not telling you don't get into negativity if somebody's pulling you into it, especially when you have no option but to defend yourself, right? I mean, if an Israeli soldier is sort of trying to take the life of a Palestinian, the Palestinian brother, if they have anything in their hands to sort of unalive the Israeli soldier to be able to protect themselves, they should for sure go ahead. And may Allah grant every Palestinian brother that power over Israelis. Ameen summa ameen. So I'm not saying my situation is as crucial, but I want to speak about Palestine as much as possible and share the examples of the lives of our brothers and sisters in Palestine, because not one martyr should go in vain, and it will not, for our Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in the sense even in this dunya, so that we learn from them, right? So when somebody is like attacking you, you've got to defend yourself, and that's what I did. But then while she was yelling at me, all of it was done, those girls went away, I went to a different place. I realized that, okay, her raising her voice at me triggers different aspects of me, different parts of me. Not gonna get into the depth, but a group of people laughing after the fight was done, after the argument was done, triggered me. Her yelling at me got me a little taken aback because it was quite loud. What is it that I have to heal on? And when you're experiencing that sort of shock, or when you're in that state where you're just like, oh, this chick just yelled at me, in that moment to be like, okay, I have these many triggers still there, so I have to work on. It's very difficult to tell yourself that, it's very difficult to not want to break somebody's head and just like sort of make yourself sit at a place where you have to literally calm yourself down and decide, okay, this is what I have to heal in myself, and just basically calming yourself down. I realized I had a couple of things to heal, and that made me more self-aware. So a lot of these negative situations, not all the times happen to you for no reason at all. They happen to you to teach you what is a part of me that I still am to heal. What is something in me that I still should work on? What is something in me that I haven't reflected as much on? What is something in me that requires me getting back in touch with it so that I heal it better, right? So that I work on it. And, it was a little tough to realize that, because I thought, oh my god, like, I wasn't triggered by this anymore. But then when I realized I got triggered by it, it's a little heart-wrenching. But you have to move forward with the acceptance of the fact that, yeah, I have to work on things, right? What I could have done was just thought, oh, those girls are these XYZ and they're the ones that are at fault, even though they were. But like, how did I feel about the entire thing is what I sat back down and assessed later on. So what I did was I switched the place. Downstairs, it was extremely crowded. What I did was I went upstairs. Not a single person was there. Now, a lot of people might be like, oh, did you get scared? Like, if I would have gotten scared, I wouldn't have completed the argument, right? I was done with it. When they walked away, I decided I'm not out here sitting around those same girls and looking into their faces and getting triggered. I'm going to go upstairs and calm myself down. What I did was went upstairs, did exactly that, decided I need time, calmed myself down, journaled about my feelings at that moment in time, and literally just spent time with myself. Then even on my way back home, I sort of expressed my emotions. I wasn't feeling the best about it. I just took it out, right? And that made me realize this one very important lesson that I had heard somewhere, but honestly, sometimes you listen to these things and learnings from people and you don't really adapt to those until something happens to you that makes you realize that even more intensely. And it is this one metaphorical example somebody had shared about, healing yourself as opposed to trying to take revenge from somebody. You know, Khuda na khasta, when a snake bites a person, what would that person ideally do in that situation? Number one, would they go behind the snake to kill that snake, or to take the life of that snake, or to take revenge on that snake? Or would they try to make sure that they take steps to sort of call the ambulance, or just sort of make it known to somebody, and take steps towards making sure that the poison doesn't get spread in the rest of their body? Right? I mean, it's a rhetoric question, really. The answer is in the question. Any logical person would choose the second option. So when I was in that argument, what I realized was a lot of the times I don't have to be stuck in nasty, negative arguments with people just for the sake of drama. So what I decided was I needed time to calm my nervous system back down, to decide what was it that happened, to process everything, and to journal out my emotions. For me, at that point in time, arguing back, going to those girls and yelling at them and everything else that I was feeling, taking it out on them, wouldn't have helped it. That would have made me more hyper. So what I decided in my own favor, I am better than this. I'm selfish in that sense. I don't care about you. That nasty, stupid little argument is nothing for me. What matters to me is my mental health, my mental peace. I need to figure out what I'm supposed to do. And I decided I would heal myself instead of engaging in more negativity, in more drama, so as to get a different satisfaction and feed the negative emotions in me more, right? So that's what you ideally do in a situation. You separate yourself, you remove yourself from that space instead of just allowing yourself to get engaged and engrossed more and more in that negativity. Some people are like, I don't know the word for it, but like it's like kitchard. It's like, I don't know. I'll put the picture of it. They drown you into negativity. They love negativity. It's their ritual. It's their routine. Astaghfirullah. May Allah guide us all. Ameen. Some people avoid it, right? So you have to separate yourself, remove yourself from such things. You don't have to be like, oh, but then what, will people think I'm a coward? Will people think I'm afraid? Will people think that, you know, she's just escaped? No. Let them think. Do they know you? Nobody in that cafe came to my side. Nobody in that cafe told me, are you okay? I had to go upstairs and I had to decide, I have to calm myself down. I had to take care of myself. Nobody, you cannot take the guarantee of everybody being at your side or even taking a stand for you. Right? When that girl yelled at me, I still kept talking to her. Still the back and forth was going on. I didn't expect that, oh, some person would get up and be like, how dare you talk to the girl like this? No. And then, of course, I didn't expect other girls to back me up as well, but they did. They were speaking up the truth. May Allah bless them and grant them hidayat for that. Ameen summa ameen. So I didn't expect that though. But when you're detached from humans, right, this is what Allah does. He blesses you. He sends you help, subhanAllah. Alhamdulillah. So I'm glad Allah made me understand that there are things that I need to heal about myself. Instead of choosing to completely put it on to those girls, which is easy, convenient, feels good to the heart, I decided, yes, madams were convenient. Madams weren't right. But I have to decide, what do I have to heal in myself? Yeah? And likewise, this one time it was my birthday and one of these girls crossed a boundary of mine on the birthday and I called her out on that. And then she came on my Snapchat after I went back home from college and she starts putting up a fight with me. And I just told her, and I apologized to her. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. She was like, seriously? That's all you have to say? And I'm just like, madam, I have apologized to you. My birthday to me is more important than this whole drama, this whole crap, so I'm gonna like remove you. And then she was like, yeah, and then she got really hyper about that. And after that, she was so mad at me. But it's so sad how some of these people get mad at you for just prioritizing your self-love and your mental peace over drama. You know, for just, the first thing I did was, okay, I hurt you too, I'm sorry. And then still she wanted to keep it going. I was like, okay, I'm out of here. I've apologized to you right then and there. then I'm out of here. My birthday is more important to me. So never feel guilty of taking yourself out of situations which drain you into negativity, because negativity is as contagious as positivity, you guys. Okay? And the best way to deal with them is not to deal with them. It's to decide, I'm better than this. I'm more important to myself than this. I am more precious than this. I'm valuable. My Allah, my Lord, has asked me to take care of my soul and to not worry. And I will do exactly that. Because Allah said, I'm with you, I'm watching and listening. So even if I'm not able to take the best movie, crime-related movie, sort of a revenge with them, you know, a murder mystery wala revenge with them, I'm okay, you know, because Allah has got it. If I keep quiet, it's all the more better, because then Allah will watch them, and I know Allah has. Every time I've kept quiet, my Allah has been there with me, alhamdulillah. Right? So you need to sort of be on your grounds, take your stand, decide right after you meet somebody, do I fit them into the category of a positive person or a negative person? And I'm not doing this to judge them. I'm doing this for my own mental peace, to assess in future whether being with them or spending time with them would be beneficial for me or not, to protect myself, to take care of my soul, right? Do it in your head and then be like, if you think they're good enough, keep the conversation going and take time to get to know them. Sometimes you might think also what happens is this person is positive and they turn out to be something else, right? Even in that case, swiftly cut off. Not very rudely, just hello, slowly cut off. And when they're a negative person, of course, you don't have to proceed with it. Be polite, you know. Don't fall from your ground. Don't stoop down to different levels to put them in their places, because that really makes you get a lot of negative energy inside of you. And in order to thrive, especially if you are on the path to achieving your goals or in the journey to self-love, self-improvement, and just achieving the things that you want, especially gaining Allah's pleasure and Allah's satisfaction with you, you need to be positive. You need to have love and positivity inside of your heart, right? So, you know, be polite, put them in these categories of whether they're good enough or not, and then proceed ahead with it. And as well, choose to remove yourself anytime, any day, from anywhere that is not making you happy. And if not making you happy, that's sort of draining you. You know, it's getting the negative emotions out of you. It's making you negative. You're better than that. And you're 100% worth positivity. If you are somebody that wakes up and decides, what is it that I can do to make my day and my life better and to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you go about thinking that and taking actions preceding that thought process for the rest of your day, you deserve happiness, you deserve peace, you deserve tranquility, you deserve positivity, okay? And you have all the rights to take yourself out of anything that does not provide that to you, inshallah. Alright, brothers and sisters, Jazakallah khair for watching this video. If you did like this video, do hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, take care, and also follow my Instagram account. And before I mention it, I just want to tell you guys, I'm not perfect, okay? So if you see that there's something on my Instagram which you might judge me for, you guys, I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to get better in my deen. Do pray for my hidayat though. And if you have any queries, any advice you require an advice on from me, anything you want to share, my DMs are open for you, inshallah. If you're a non-mahram, try to be respectful. And I might share a few of them in this video as well, keeping your identity confidential, but to benefit more people out there if I feel like it's a generalized problem. So do hit me up on there, do follow if you want to stay connected with my personal life and just see another whole creative side of me. Yeah, that's about it for this video. Take care, remember me in your prayers, and I'll remember you in mine. Allah Hafiz, bi aman Allah.